to the Pride Aston Villa Women podcast. I suppose we've got to do it. We're here. We've got to talk about it. Get it out of the way first. And of course, that is our very disappointing trip to Liverpool at the weekend. 2 losses in 2 weeks in Merseyside. It just had to be, didn't it? Unfortunately, it didn't go the way we wanted or the way we predicted. But hats off to Liverpool. They look like a completely different team. But we're going to talk all about it. But yeah, joining me this evening, I've got Emma, Lindsay, and Gary. How are you all?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
Good, 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 good. Yes, good, thank you. Yeah, I think maybe a bit of therapy needed this evening to discuss this game because there was a lot of emotion and a lot went on. So we will get right into it. Now then, I mean, where do we want to start? Really is the main question
At the very
because
beginning.
well, I've heard it's a very good place to start, as Julie Andrews once said. We still were playing 3 at the back. I mean, ideally, would we have liked to see a 4 for this one, knowing how much Liverpool have added to their attack?
I'd have probably
Yes.
just parked the bus up.
Well, yeah, would have
Ju-
been a bit nicer, maybe.
ju-
Yeah,
Just stick all 11 players on the coach and park the coach straight across the front of the goal, and we would have at least brought a point back.
exactly. Yes. So, in fact, this week in training tactics are just going to be this is how we drive the coach. And this is where we're going to park it. What was that, Lindsay?
Natalia's got a camper van, hasn't she? So maybe
Well,
she could
yeah.
get a slightly bigger one and get all the girls onto it as team building bonding.
Team bonding, try to not concede any goals. That sounds good to me. So yeah, well, it didn't take long, did it? It didn't take long for Liverpool to get there first, and it was Mia Enderby who. It felt like for a long time people were talking about her as this young prodigy and how talented she was, and then she wasn't favoured for a bit, was she? But now she's finally come back, proved that she can score. We saw what she did in the final minutes the other week to get them their first points. And she just came back with a bang. And within 9 minutes, it kind of, that's it. That's just how the game kind of felt it was going to go, wasn't
See, it
it?
was said
From that
within
moment.
9 minutes, but she could have had another 2 before that.
Well, that's the thing. Put it in the back of the net and then I put it. But yeah, because Gary, for you, I mean, we've just said there she could have been 3-0 up, essentially just Mia by herself. It just wasn't the week for us to start slow, was it?
No, I'm pretty sure that our defence was actually still over at Goodison Park.
Yeah.
Um, they took a wrong turn on their way into the Merseyside.
It did.
Um,
It did.
but yeah, like I know that our long range shot didn't really trouble Sabs. That was in around the 6th minute, but
Mm.
she was dangerous all game, and Holland was dangerous all game, and yeah, it was just Liverpool were dangerous all game. Um, our defense, I don't know what's happened to it. Like the first half of the season, we hardly conceded a goal. And
No.
is it something like 25 goals that we've conceded now in like the last 5 or 6 games?
It doesn't make sense, does it? Because we knew even when we were struggling to score, Lindsay, our defence was always like, but we've got our defence. Like it's not happening up top, but we've still got it. So, do you think that's more of a personnel thing, or do we think it's a fact that we didn't really recruit in the window at all? Is it just a point where the players are just they're at their limit really at the minute, or what do
I'm
you
not,
think?
it's hard to tell because you can see the frustration on a lot of the players' faces, which is I know something you want to talk about later. But I don't know if it's just like fatigue or the way it's set up. It didn't. It was there, but it just seemed like it was a cardboard wall, and every time Liverpool came
Mm.
forward, we just fell over, and they just ran straight through us, and I don't know why because the girls, our defence has been so strong at the start of the season,
Mm.
it doesn't add up. Maybe it's
No.
letting people go. Maybe it's not making enough signings. Maybe it's unease in the changing room. I don't know, but something's not right because they're all off their game or they're giving 100%, but it's just not working.
There's
It's
a
just
little bit of me in that you know, defense starts at the front,
Yeah.
okay.
and we haven't had a consistent midfield from Lucia's went out injured and Missy Bowes went out injured. Stanley Ford's only just coming back from injury, so we're not giving her full minutes. So the only consistent midfielder that we have had all season is Taylor. And
Yes.
like we can see how much she's given. Like she's not leaving
Yeah.
a single thing to chance. She's really, really playing her socks out. But with no consistency. So like we all know what Rachel Daly's like. You know, she genuinely does defend from the front and will cover every blade of grass. And that's what I mean about the defence starts at the front. So our back line currently doesn't have the same defence in front of them as what they have
That's what I
had.
meant.
You know,
Okay.
it very much is a team game, and losing one important player was tough enough. But we currently have like four of them sitting out. You know, Chaz has just came back, Stanley Force just came back, but we're
Yeah.
still missing Kendall, who was actually in the
Very
training
much.
photos today. So who
Yes.
knows? We might see her back
Fingers
on the pitch
crossed.
soon. But there's
Yes.
still
I
no
really
update
hope
on
so.
Missy Bow, and there's still no
No.
update on Rach. There are another two players that were missed.
Yeah, and if you make it wider as well, we haven't got Gabby, we haven't got Paula, we haven't got there's a lot of players who on paper we have and can contribute, but actually aren't anywhere near first team training because we haven't had those updates. So if anyone from Villa is watching, please, we beg you every week, but please can we have an update? Even if it's just they're not back yet. Just even as something like just to update us. I love that a place of mine in the comments is saying, I think Rachel's a camper van too. Hey, perfect. Let's get all of the camper vans. Oh yeah, because didn't her and Sarah buy one to do up or something?
Her and Sarah, yeah.
Yeah.
Two camper vans and a coach in front of the goals. I fancy our chances of keeping a clean sheet.
I think that might just do it. Might just. We'll hijack the away coach as well. Put that in front of it. But yeah, it just we just didn't feel right. So very much, Lindsay, what you were saying there, something just didn't quite feel right. But we can't deny that first goal though. So Kerry Holland, Gary, I know you mentioned a fantastic run from her down the left wing, squares the cross into the box. Enderby gets on the end of it. And that's it. Straight into the back of the net. Lucy Parker did try to stay on Bernabé, didn't she? But because she tried to man mark her, she'd then come out really wide and really high, hadn't she? So all of that space behind her was there for the taking. Jean-Francois tried to chase Holland, but just, not another defender in sight. And Lindsay, we talked last week, didn't we, about are they trying to zonal mark? Are they trying to man mark? Is it a mix of both? Was that any clearer this week, or was it actually more the other way?
It's clear as mud.
It's good.
It's just there's players putting challenges in. There's players standing off. There's players that are heavy on their feet and they're not on their toes. And it's just I don't know if the tactics have changed or they've been told to do something a bit different in training and they're overthinking or they're just something's off. Something is off with the team, and it just seems to be there's a bulk of players that are playing their position and a bulk of players that are playing out of position to compensate for the gaps that we've got, and it just it's not working as it is. And I mean, Kerry Holland is a really good player, someone that I've rated for quite a few years, but we made her look really, really good. And it's no disrespect to her because she had a fantastic game. So I'm not here to take anything away from that because she played really well, but we made her look really, really good. And Enderby as well. Like we put too much respect on her name. And like Gary said, defence starts at the top. And if you look at our strikers, like we haven't consistently had like a striking unit up front. Like we have players that we're constantly rotating, constantly changing, and there's nothing there. And then in the middle, we've got like Maya, who's playing like a 10, which is fantastic, but she needs a space and if there's nobody solid to cover that, then people can just run straight through, and then the defence are just they've got no chance. So I think it needs to change. But I was very confused by the marking. We seemed a bit better, but we were still. I don't know what's going on.
Not quick enough. Because I remember watching it and thinking, I don't think we've been first to any of these balls,
No.
just anywhere on the pitch, and we were constantly chasing, weren't we? We were constantly chasing the game, and I think we talked about this before in a little bit on what you said about not having a striker, but it's very much a Mullet and Hansen up top, but George is very much down one side, Kirsty's very much down the other, so it feels like Maya's almost got to almost be another attacking mid in that sense, because the gap that she's finding herself in, the space, sorry, not the gap, because if Miri's trying to win all the balls back there and Jean-Francois, you've got Ebony. I mean, I don't quite know where she was meant to be this weekend either, but you just had so many questions about where people were in their roles, and it's like, you shouldn't ever have to question it, really, should you? It should be very laid out, and you should believe that it's. And I don't know, there was just no belief watching it. It was like, oh God, like what's going to happen next? But Emma, I'll come to you for this next bit, because we then get, we're 1-0 down, fine, still plenty of time, good. Martha Thomas then comes into play. Now, Martha Thomas, of course, came in from Spurs in the last window, and she hadn't scored, I don't think, for quite a while before then. But this one just felt like a kick in the teeth, didn't it? Because Oceane tried to clear it, but in doing so, she's then just flicked it up. It hasn't actually gone anywhere, falls back down, and Thomas is able to flick it in past Sabs anyway. So yeah, what were your thoughts when that happened? Was it of course.
What? It was a really frustrating one to watch, because we were on the other end of the pitch, so we were facing our goal that we were meant to be scoring in. So it happened all at the other end of the pitch, and the angle wasn't great that we sort of were sat at. And I've not had a chance to watch the highlights, but to me it looked like Sabs had come out to try and get it, and then it literally just slid past her, and it's like, oh no, that is so annoying. And you've only got to feel for Sabs as well at the same time, because she knew what she needed to be doing. She was sort of going to do the right thing, and then as she's gone that way, the ball just fell in the right spot, and Martha Thomas just hits it, and it's like, oh no. But then it was 2-0, and I was like, right, okay. I still wasn't feeling too disappointed, because I was like, right, we've still got loads of time here. We can still sort of nick it and at least get a point, but I mean, we didn't. But I was still feeling moderately positive at that point. But it's just the way that goal went in, and we were all just like, oh no, it's going to be one of those days. But,
yeah, because it felt very much damned if she did, damned if she didn't, because if she hadn't have blocked it, Thomas was there anyway. So she had to try and do something, but just unfortunately it landed, and you think, okay, well maybe, we can have one of them per game. We can, that's completely, against what we would have expected. And you think, you're right, 2-0, that can still be, we can still come back from it. 2-0, we're fine. Yeah. We're being very optimistic on our old age with this one.
I'm one of Sab's biggest supporters, but she could have been more commanding.
I was going to say,
I did watch the game back, and the angle that you got on the camera, Sab's has certainly been more commanding in previous games. But she could have done better, but she looked a wee bit lost, because Delondes had obviously already cleared it off the line. Martha Thomas was on her arse, and Sabs could have came out and grabbed the ball, but she was maybe afraid because she was going to have to step over Martha Thomas to sort of reach out and grab it. I suppose the last thing you want to do is run the risk of standing on a player or something and making it look like you maybe tried to hurt someone, So but by the time Martha had hit the ball, Sabs looked a wee bit lost because the bounce had just taken it completely away from her.
Yeah, because you can tell she's I don't want to say ball watching, but she's very much like, oh, it's gone now. like it's been cleared, and maybe then didn't set herself up for that follow-up save. But yeah, because the commentator said, actually, you're right, she's come out, but she hasn't come out enough, hasn't made herself big enough to then take more charge of that situation. So yeah, maybe then she could have done a bit more to stop that initial attack and claimed it as hers.
But then
For
before
that
she
one.
came off injured, she did come out for that, didn't she? So
Yeah.
And that's the
Yeah.
thing, yeah.
it just the whole game, they were all sort of like hesitant, and it's
Yeah, everything was just off, wasn't it? And just not the right place at the right time.
it's literally like, you know, the milk that you got in your fridge that's a week old, and you sniff it and you're like, I'm not sure if it's okay or not, and you pour it and you're like, I'm not sure, and there's no lumps, and then you drink it and you're like, oh, I'm still not sure, and then you throw it away. It was that kind of thing, like you're not sure if they're there or not, but it
Yeah.
just wasn't quite right.
Your soy milk to be fine, Lindsay. It's okay.
Soy milk never goes off.
No. Sorry, I've got a baby who loves tapping keyboards, and now everything's just gone. Right. I was going to say, Gary, this must be great. I've got a dog behind us and a baby. It's. He's saying hi.
Hello.
Yay! Yeah. There we go. Sorted. Ah.
Yes.
She's looking
Oh,
at
she
like,
looks so happy.
She's trying to
And she's even happier when she's hitting your keyboard.
Oh, I know. If I disappear, you know why. Hi, do you want to come around this way? Okay. Yeah, because then, so 2-0, and then Miri Taylor. It had to be Miri, didn't it? Someone who was gonna. Someone who was gonna save us and try and half this deficit, and she did. So 41 minutes, getting into half time, we were starting to get a good bit. A good bit. We're starting to look like we were going to do something, hadn't we? And then Miri gets the ball and smashes it in like she means it. How were people feeling when Miri's goal came back? Was it a bit more hope restored?
Always optimistic.
Yeah.
And Mary clearly just doesn't do tap-ins.
Oh, no.
That was
You can see why she has such a good relationship with Kirsty Hansen now, because I don't think I've seen her score a tap-in either.
no.
No. You're shutting the door so the baby can't crawl away. Yeah, so it feels like, because for ages, Miri just couldn't seem to get that goal, could she? But I think as soon as that first goal went in, she's been like, right, I'm going to make this count. And you saw the emotion, didn't you? And the relief.
Yeah.
And you just thought, yeah, that's exactly what we've been missing, and that's exactly what we need. But yeah, as we've got a couple of comments in, so thank you very much for those. You know, the team's just so inconsistent. Yep, and we've talked about injuries being a big part of that as well. Not that it's all to blame by any means, but we are aware we haven't got a full strength team. And it's been
paid by injuries at this time of season.
Yeah, and it always feels like our winter windows are more detrimental than actually positive to the actual team as well, which again doesn't help.
I feel like the last good window we had, like winter window, was when we bought Lucy Stanforth and Jordan Nobbs in. But that was just a really good season.
Remember those days?
We are missing Jordan though, aren't we? Like her tenacity and the way that she scraps. Like she's a creative player and she can find those passes and she's phenomenal at it. But also, you would look at her and go, you know, you would fit under the counter of a table, but like she can take on players twice her size and get the ball off them. So it's that's what we've kind of missed a little bit, I think, in letting her go. We haven't really replaced. We've got creative, which is fantastic, but they don't have the strength, and because of the injuries, we're a bit stuck in compensating.
Yeah,
I'm not sure Jordan's the one that we're actually missing.
Oh no! I'm just saying, like she's like we're missing. She's bits that we're missing.
I think it's Kenza that we miss more than anyone.
Yeah.
That proper number 10 that genuinely changed the game.
Yeah.
That was Ken's. She would just arrive from nowhere and create something, and
Make
we're
something out of nothing.
really, really
Yeah.
missing that right now.
But we're not giving
Yeah.
her, if we use May as that creative 10, we're not giving her the space and the time to pick out the pass. And it's that physicality. It's can she get that physicality, which will take time adjusting to WSL.
Yeah, because we have mentioned that she's looked a bit lost a few times, hasn't she? And again, that could be adapting to the league, it could be how they've set up. And like you said, she hasn't got the people around her really to make that magic happen because everyone's kind of doing their own thing and not really going together.
But
I am a
injured,
little
yeah.
disappointed that we haven't seen Millie in that position again. You know,
Yes.
she got on, she done 10 minutes, and in that particular game, she done more in 10 minutes than Maya had the previous 80.
Yeah,
You know, and it's just
no,
like,
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the young lady obviously has talent at her feet. Give her the minutes, give her the opportunity. You know,
Yeah.
she can't
Especially-
do any worse than what's currently happening on the pitch, so give her a chance.
Well, that's the thing, because really, at the end of the day, if you're losing 4-1, I know the fourth one wasn't right until the last minute of stoppage time, but if it's not going your way and it's not your day, you're absolutely like you've got nothing to lose by changing it up like that. You know, try something different, try something else, because at the end of the day, you're right. We've got talent on that bench, and who knows what difference they can make unless they get the opportunity to do that.
Right now, I'm sitting watching United playing, and it reminds me of the United game because that was another one that took a heavy defeat.
Yeah.
But there was a lot more time where a player like Millie maybe could have done something. You know, because if we had brought her on like the 70th and give her like 20 minutes, at that stage, I think we're already 3-1 down against United, and well, what was the harm in rolling the dice and taking a chance?
That's the thing, yeah. Like let her build something. Let her let her try and make those connections as well. Because clearly it's something. Oh, bye Emma. Clearly it's something that the ones on the pitch are struggling to do. So why not give her that chance? So yeah, so it was a strange one because then we went into she's back. There we go. We went into halftime 2-1, and again that's a scoreline you think doable. We can get a point. We can go back from that. And unfortunately then, as the second half starts, Sabs then has a collision with Bernabé, and obviously something that can't be helped, but did anyone have any thoughts on whether that affected the back line maybe a bit more, because it will have that effect, change of goalkeeper, change of someone behind you, because we did then concede a further 2 goals. So nothing on Ellie Roebuck at all, but just that change of direction maybe. Has anyone got any thoughts on that?
It was possibly more the injury more than anything.
Yeah.
You know, because
the shock of that injury, yeah.
we know how good of a goalkeeper Ellie is as well, so I've no doubt that the back line had faith in her. You know, they still would have had a level of confidence.
Yeah.
But it's what they're doing themselves in the last couple of games is probably where the confidence has already gone. And we have conceded late goals against everybody in recent weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a sequence I'd rather not repeat.
Yes.
They could just take that away. Yeah, and exactly saying in the chat, yeah, thank you again. We've been conceding a lot at the end of the games. Yeah, we have. It's almost as if and we'll talk about Natalia's post-match comments in a bit, but it's almost as if we get to a point where we go, yeah, I've got a point. Or, yeah, it's all right now. And the whistle hasn't gone. And it's that tiny, tiny moment where the other team goes, thank you. And they'll take the points. And it's just like, you'd think by now that wouldn't happen. Because it's happened so many times. Like once you might be able to forgive, maybe twice, but it's becoming a common theme, isn't it?
It's easily the last 4 or 5 games, and it's a better pill to swallow.
Yeah. Because again, as fans, we're then going, we're not safe until the whistle goes. Like, you can't. It would be nice to watch a game and relax and enjoy. That would be quite nice, wouldn't it?
That's
Just
not what
enjoy.
the USL's about, though, is it? It's about
Well,
excitement and watching the game we love. But we could do without needing like a defibrillator at the same time because we're so
well,
stressed.
exactly. Yeah, I did have to laugh because Georgie went, "You aren't fair weather fans, you Villa lot, are you?" I was like, "No, definitely not." Could you imagine the Davno one there? The last couple of weeks, but yeah, no, we'll always still show up, won't we? Because we get to discuss it like this and we get to break it apart. And like we said, it's a free form of therapy that we that we all need after this match. So we've had the change of keepers. Roebuck comes on, does a very good job. Falk, annoyingly, is also another very good goalkeeper. But looking at our stats, we had just one less shot than Liverpool did. And we had 3 on target compared to their 5. So it wasn't as if they massively outshot us or were massively more clinical. The difference just being we made a few more mistakes than they did. And that's what it's come down to. But yeah, if you look at that scoreline 4-1, you think, oh God, what kind of match have Villa had? But yeah, Falk made 2 big saves. We made 1. So again, nothing much in it there. So it literally just came down to that final bit of finishing, and again, like I said, those mistakes. If we have a look at the subs then, so what did we think here? So Salmon went off at half time for Moritz. Did we probably think that get Moritz on bit more in defence?
Moretz probably should have started.
This is also our issue,
Salmon
isn't it? Yeah.
shouldn't be playing wing back.
No.
Is at the moment. I think
No, Nose is a wide player more than a central player, but she's not a defensive player.
No.
It's never been her strong point. And all right, Moretz isn't as attacking minded, but she's definitely much more solid in the back.
Yeah.
And ideally, it would be nice to have had Chaz on all match, but we understand that she's just coming back from injury, so you have to draw the line somewhere,
Yeah, absolutely. And we saw Chaz come on for Georgia at 66 minutes. Jenna came on for Rachel Maltby at 66 minutes as well. So again, a good bit of pace injected there. And then we saw Lucy Stan come on for the final 10-ish minutes instead of Jean-Francois. But yeah, I think that's pretty predictable maybe at this point, these subs. The only one, again, we would have liked to see. Lynn didn't come on. So unless she's carrying something, that I don't think we've heard anything, have we?
No.
About
wouldn't.
No, and again, she was in the training pictures today that's been loaded on Instagram, so it wouldn't make me think that she's carrying anything.
No, because she was on the bench, so you'd think, she's Lynn Vilms, get her on the pitch. So that was a strange one. And like you said, Gary, earlier, Millie Round would have been really nice to come on, even for last 10-ish minutes with Lucy Stan. Maybe that could have been a nice one. Both of them coming on at the 79th minute.
Even a game like that, young Lee, that we haven't got to see anything of in the senior team, we've already lost it. Give her a couple of minutes.
Yeah, exactly. And I think
you haven't called these players up to the senior squad because they can't play football.
Yeah, exactly. They're not just there because you need numbers. Like, they're there for a reason. Yeah. I agree. So yeah. So let's have a look. See, there we go. Does anyone know why Films didn't play? No. No, not even slightly. Might have to message her and see how she's all right. Now, Tracy, I can see you put a few messages in. We will come back to them, I do promise. I'm not ignoring them. So yeah, it was just a strange choice maybe in that starting lineup. And I mean, Maritz just, we're all in Team Maritz here, that we want her to be starting games. She hasn't done anything to warrant being on the bench. So yeah, so we get to this then, and we think, right, 2-1. It's the 80th minute. Let's just keep it, because 2-1, as much as it's annoying, we can still try and come back from it. We can still try and do something. Then Grace Fisk comes along, Liverpool captain, defender. I don't know why we couldn't clear that ball, but it was almost like it was stuck to our feet, and we just couldn't get it out, and nothing was happening, and it felt like everyone was, I don't want to say scared to kick the ball away, but Lindsay, it was just a massive bit of chaos, wasn't it? That ultimately, again, Fisk went, I'm having that, and smashed to the back of the net.
You can't give Grace that kind of opportunity, because, again, another slept-on player. See, the thing with Liverpool, they've got a lot of players that slept on, and if you give someone like that the opportunity, they will punish you. And even if it ping-ponged and it didn't go in, the thing that I used to do when I was playing was, if you're outside the box, if you smash it into the penalty area and there's that chaos, it'll ping-pong and it'll ricochet off somebody, and the chance of it going in, if you get it right, are quite high, because the keeper will be expecting it to go to the left and it comes from the right, and it's a way of getting an extra goal. And it was a really, really good goal. I know we tried to stop it on the line, and it was just typical of the whole game and the frustration. I know at half time I paused the replay on the TV, and the frustration on the players' faces coming in, and it just seemed to be just a game like that was frustrating, and this chaos just sort of summed it up, really.
Yeah, and you just felt their frustration just kind of radiating, which can it can go one of two ways, can't it? It can really kind of rile the team up to be like, right, that was a crap first half, we're going to come out the second half, we're going to completely change, come on, we're Villa, let's go. Or it can then lead to frustrations with each other, and then the communication gets worse, and it kind of snowballs from there, doesn't it? And it just felt like there were too many. I know we've talked previously about positioning and things like that, but it felt like maybe there's a couple that will always work their socks off and will never stop running and will run through walls from the team, and they will always show up. And then there's a couple that we've talked about and maybe a bit too comfortable because they know we don't really have the depth. Yes, it was this week, because we tweeted it, and I think it was our Sophie in the chat as well. When the commentators said, "Oh well, they are missing Rachel Daly and Leon." Yeah, we are missing Leon, but it's not through injury. She's been gone for over a year now. Come on.
That was the Sky commentator. That made me
It
laugh.
was the Sky. And you just think, I'm not being funny, but basic research, a team sheet will tell you all you need to know. But yeah, not knowing that Leon doesn't play for us anymore was really, really bad. Fern Whelan, that was Damon and Sherman.
It'd be nice if they could just go, oh, we're just going to bring on number whatever that she's got now, and just bring her on and be like, fantastic. Just
imagine if she was that surprise signing. Oh, that would be incredible if it was. But yeah, just everything, it feels like if you're not in the top four, it just feels like people do the bare minimum, and it's just not fair. And I know we will pick up on that as Villa fans, but it just the bias is insane for clubs like us. But yeah, that was this week, yes. So Grace Fisk makes it 3-1. And again, you just think, right, it's 83rd minute. Just hold on. Just don't do anything stupid. Park the bus, get the camper vans back in. Just don't let this go any further. And then what happens? Liverpool bring on one of their very, very good new signings. Can't take anything away from Aurélie Schillag at all. But yeah, she comes on just after the 66th minute, and yeah, you just, as soon as the ball touched her feet, you just thought, that's going in. But yeah, Emma, what was your kind of reaction? Because it was right at the end, wasn't it? What was that feeling like? watching that goal go in?
You can't really be any more disheartened than we already were, because it was a game that we were like, we really need to get a point from, at least. And we'd already sort of gone, we're not winning this. Because at 3-1, I was like, we now need 2 goals very quickly to sort of bring this back. So then at 4-1, I was like, well, we're not going to get 3 goals now. And we'd need 4 to win it. So I was like, no. But it was frustrating because, again, there were people that were still working really, really hard and still really, really trying. But then half the team had just switched off, and it's like, we can't switch off because then they'll score more. And we don't want that. But
Usually the case.
it is. So
Yeah,
it was
so
like it was a disappointed but not surprised, if that makes any sense. Because
yeah, kind of that's the way the game was going.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get you. Because I don't know why I'm putting myself through the torture again, but I have just got the highlights up for that final goal again, and it's literally it's one long ball over the top, and that's it.
It is, and Lucy Parker's also shoulder to shoulder with her, so she's been strong enough to hold Lucy Parker off and just slot it at home.
Well, it goes through. It's so small on screen, can't even see who it is. Whoever it is, just completely goes over the top of the head. Is that Ocean? No, it's not. But yeah, it comes down to Parker, and is that Parker and Ocean? And yeah, Parker just gets shoulder to shoulder, like you said, but she can't hold her off to a certain angle, and she like just manages just in that tiny bit, doesn't she? She finds a tiny bit of space and puts it away, and you're just like I mean, incredible skill to do that. We will just say that again. Liverpool, very impressive, but you just think, oh, we were so close again. So close to seeing that ball out. You think, could she have held her off just that little bit longer? Could anyone else have been on her quicker to do something for that? But yeah, I just think by the time that goal's gone in, like Emma said, it was just kind of like of course it has, 7th minute of added time, and just completely like Robux, like really quickly, like, oh god, like what can I do to try and deflect this? But yeah, there was just nothing they could do, and the whistle goes moments later. So yeah, just feeling of being deflated and frustrated, and obviously the team felt that as well, because Gary, I know what you were saying about Miri's post match. It was very, very emotional, wasn't it?
You could see how much it was fighting back the tears. That poor woman was devastated. I don't know, from speaking to the others, she wasn't the only player. You know, Percy's left the field in tears as well, and it's just, you know how hard they're trying, and it's like we say, we know that there's a few players that are genuinely giving their all.
Yeah.
But we've also said the evening that it's very much a team game, and if everybody isn't putting in the work, you're not going to get the results.
Yeah, we can't rely on one player. We can't rely on 2 doing all the work. We need everyone to be on that same wavelength, don't we? And like Tracy's saying in the chat there, I didn't feel the 4th goal. I was numb at that point. And it does get to a certain point where you're like, this isn't pleasant. This just isn't, why am I still watching this? But we put ourselves through it, don't we, every single week. I do just kind of want to go through Arroyo's post-match, because a lot of people are very quick to go, sack the manager, it's the manager's fault, it's this, it's that, which we know, there's a whole myriad of reasons to why this is happening. But she was really, really honest. She said it was a bad result, a bad performance. We were far from showing passion. We started the game poorly. Once they were able to suffer together and show that fighter mentality, that's when they kind of grew a bit into the game. At some points in the second half, we were building, but what disappoints me is the poor start. I understand Liverpool are fighting for big things, but that's unacceptable. We need to show more pride when we're wearing the shirt, which I thought was a really, really good one. I don't care if they're at the bottom and they need points. We need points also. We were not showing enough passion, in my opinion. So let's fix the tactical problems and let's see if we can shape the team in a proper way, because that's not the way we want to play the next games. We want to show more. We want to have aggression when we're wearing the shirt and playing in this league. Once the game was a little bit over at 3-1, we stopped competing, and that's unacceptable and not what Villa deserves. So, has anyone got any thoughts about that? Because that's quite a statement, isn't it? Coming from
I
Natalia.
have to completely agree with them. Like, we did stop playing when we got to 3-1, because I think at that point you get to, it was quite late in the game as well, and you're like, well, we definitely need 2 goals to get a point out of it. So I think they already then just put their heads down. And there's something else I was going to say. Come back to me so I can remember it.
I can completely agree, but it's like we've said, we can see the handful of players that are fighting.
Yeah.
But it is a team game. Out of other heads are dropping.
Yeah, we need
Other teams are going to see this and they're going to go, well, their heads dropping. You know, if we go down that way, they're going to be the weak link.
They're an easy target.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we always were, weren't we? You know, for many seasons, people are, oh yeah, Villa, easy win, easy 3 points. And we had to fight against that reputation to be like, no, we can be tricky to play against. We can be, this incredibly well-connected team. And yeah, that was just starting to change a little bit for some managers who recognise that. So yeah, it just feels like we're going back to square one, and maybe issues that were there a couple of seasons ago are starting to resurface for whatever reasons. And it's not fair on the players if it's stuff going on behind the scenes, and it's also not fair on each other if they can't get to a point where they're at least fighting for each other rather than anything else that's going on. Because of course we only see snippets, we can only imagine what's going on. But yeah, we just hope that they get to a place where they're okay at the end of the day, because I think Marie said, didn't she, in a post-match, they're going to have a big meeting on what would have been Tuesday to hopefully just air everything out and make sure they're on the same page. But you also mentioned, Gary, that there's training photos for once, which is quite nice. So hopefully training this week has been much higher spirits and maybe cracked, because people do get to a point, don't they, and then everything kind of bubbles over the top, and you think maybe now that that's maybe happened, could this be the start of a rebuild, do you think, Gary?
I certainly hope so. We have the players, we have the talent, but it does take everybody to be moving in the same direction to be able to pull us the right way, you know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I like that.
like I've said, we've known that there has been things that have happened behind the past that haven't been fair on previous coaches either.
Yeah.
But we won't say anything about the coach in the middle. But the one before and the one that we have now have both been very talented coaches, and I just feel like, somebody's literally taking the legs out from underneath them with whatever's going on behind the scenes, and seems to be disheartening people, and it's not right. It's not fair, and
No.
Everybody seems to want the best, except for the people that should really want the best.
Exactly. And, we'll keep fighting for them and making sure that they're okay from our perspective. And yeah, it's just there's a much bigger picture in play, isn't it? Rather than, oh, they're not playing very well. There's a whole thing going on. So like we said, we do just wish the players get to a good place with whatever's happening. But yeah, again, thank you for the comments and things like, I think it was bold for Natalia to say that. Players haven't got the passion. Yeah, I think she meant maybe more when they're on the pitch, they're not showing that passion. So maybe that she was alluding to, maybe a few players could do much more and show much more.
But even in
Yeah.
Mary's interview, she even mentioned, we're not talking the way we should. The team's not communicating the way it should. We're not, you know. She also listed things that should be happening that
Yes.
aren't happening. But she has obviously spoke about the passion that they do have and those that do want to fight. And
Yeah.
it seems like what Mary said and what Natalia said is almost they're a couple of the ones that are fighting. And there does need to be that clear the air that hopefully has happened by now that we can draw a line and move forward because even this weekend's game isn't going to be an easy game.
Nope.
No.
Yay! Another one we've got to fight for. What do we think about this comment here? So, Girls on the Ball spoke earlier this week that a lot of the team are still Carla Ward's players. So maybe a major clear out and refresh is needed in the summer. What do we think? 'Cause it's always a bit of a sticking point when you've got your fan favourites and your ones that have been there for quite a while, that who maybe are the backbone of the team. Or do we think actually clear out's maybe what Villa needs? Has anyone got any opinions on that?
I don't think a clear out because I don't know. I feel like signing like a clear out to me suggests that we've then got to sign loads of new players, and then that feels a little bit like London City. And I feel like we swear we had a season where we signed loads of new players and we just couldn't click, and it just didn't work. So I feel like that would then maybe, unless you have a really good pre-season, you'd hinder the team because you've got all these different individuals that have all played different ways, then trying to all play the same way. So I feel like it might just be a little bit more of a hindrance. So I feel like if we're going to do that, then we need to do it slowly and sort of do it over a few seasons.
I would agree with Emma. You can't have a full clear out. If they're talking about the ones that are Carla Ward's players, then we're still looking at Sabs. We're looking at Lucy Parker. We're looking at Anna
About
Patton.
half.
But let's be realistic. You want to let Sabs go. You want to let Anna Patton go. You want to let Lucy Parker go. They're three of the best players in the squad. Why would you do that?
Yeah, I think it's very much kind of when the summer does come, just literally making those business decisions that you would anyway of, okay, well, who's maybe not pulling their weight? Who do we think doesn't fit the vision anymore? Those standards, because there will be a couple of players, as there will be with every change of manager, that just don't really fit anymore. And that's okay. They can move on to another team that does suit them better. But as Tracy right said, Carla Ward was there on Sunday. She was, yes. Lots of people said that she was there, and she looks really well through not having the weekly football stress. That'd be nice not to have weekly football stress. Watching Villa.
What Ireland does for you as well,
Well, it just makes everything better, doesn't it, Gary? Being Irish, it does.
Well, it is God's country.
Well, hey, that's good enough for him. That's good enough for us. But yeah, so there's a lot of positive action to do with the words that everyone says. So Natalia saying we need to do better, Miri saying we need to do much better, and knowing that there is passion and dedication in the squad, it's just making sure that comes through on match day as well. So if we look at the table, again, apologies for having to do this for everyone. But looking at the table, we are in 8th place now, still on 16 points, just 1 point behind Brighton, 2 points ahead of Everton. So our nice 5-point buffer is now down to 2. And then after that, you've got West Ham on 11, Liverpool on 10, Leicester on 9. Leicester, of course, do have a game in hand, but it is against Arsenal. And no offence to Leicester, it's probably not going to be the game they get points. However, who knows in this league anymore? Because, of course, Everton won again at the weekend, didn't they? 2-2 for them. Maybe we did a Freaky Friday when we faced them and just went the other way. So now they've got our wins and we've got their losses. But yes, Everton up to 9th now, just 2 points behind us. Because for a while it was the ones that are going for Champions League, best of the rest, and then the relegation ones. But now even that's widening to best of the rest being really
The relegation zone.
the relegation zone. And it is, because you're looking and you're thinking, we've played 15 games, but there's still so much time for things to change and, for things to go very, very wrong. So I love when people were talking about, the title race is over or whatever. And it's like, yeah, but there's another battle going on. And it's not one that we want to be in. But yeah, we're still 7 points ahead of Leicester City. But as we've seen, 7 points can also mean absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things. Has anyone got any final things to add for the Liverpool game, or are we happy to leave that in the past now?
Let's just park the bus there.
Yeah, I think so.
Let's leave it there. Go on.
I had something. I just thought it was really refreshing how Natalia didn't blame the players and she wasn't like overprotecting them and coming out like really defensive, and she was quite realistic with where she wanted to go. And I think at the moment when the fans are, on the fence about, being with the team, I think that's like quite a good way to handle it. So it's not her being diplomatic, it's just her being how she is. But I think, if we do have the capacity to turn it round, it's quite positive in the place that she's coming from. And also it's not the management and the players, it's we're one together, and that's quite a vision that she's tried to build from when she's come in. And I think that's hopefully going to be it. I know it's a blessing and a curse. I know, like we said, Callum could be seen to be too soft on the players, but I think if she gets it right, then Natalia gets it right, then it should come good. So I've got high hopes for the rest of the season, but it was just refreshing, because normally you get managing and they're just like saving their own skin, and it's like, no, you're in charge of these players, you're responsible for them. It was just a really nice way that she did it. So hopefully whatever happened in the meeting can be aired, sorted, and the girls can move forward and win on Sunday.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah, because I think like we said, people are quick to blame the manager, but I don't think it is all Natalia. I'm not on the get Natalia out bus or anything like that. I just think it's just a really unfortunate mix of injuries, not buying in the window, again, who's responsible for buying players in and bringing them in, and just it just hasn't gone the way we wanted to this season at all. But all we can focus on is staying up, because of course this season relegation is not necessarily going to be what happens, as long as the person in that spot beats that third place WSL2 club, and as we've seen, that can be quite hard to do. So as long as we're not in that spot, then we're all good. Okay. So moving on then slightly, talking about players who we are missing. We're gonna miss another player, aren't we? Because Maya, Japanese international, is going to be leaving us for the Asia Cup. So matches start on the 4th of March. So I think probably this international break probably be gone from then. And if they get through, the final isn't until the 21st of March. So nearly a whole month of that. So yeah, I mean, it's not a fantastic thrower that she's got the call up. We can't take that away from her. But really, we're missing another player.
In the long run, it'll benefit us. She's 20 years of age and she's getting to play at a high caliber international competition. So, yes, it sucked losing her for a couple of weeks, but it's a fantastic experience for her that can only benefit us in the long run.
Yeah, and that's why we said we can't be annoyed and can't be angry at it, because it's such a good opportunity. It just sucks that it's at this moment in time when we can't really afford to lose anyone. But of course, we do wish her all the best, as we do all of our other internationals. Right then, on to this weekend. We've got the lovely Spurs at home at Villa Park. Spurs, of course, they did lose at the weekend, but it was to Chelsea. But they've got some goal scorers that are very, very good as well. So yeah, Lindsay, how are you feeling ahead of this weekend against Spurs?
I'd like to say optimistic, but
He's
I
not.
would too.
I'm apprehensive after how we played the last 2 games. I think if the girls turn up as we know they can, I'm confident. I'm quite confident that Beth England will be going home in Anna Patton's back pocket or Reece Parker's back pocket or somebody's back pocket.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. Yeah.
Along with her keys and her phone and everything. But if we play like we played the last 2 games, then I have reservations about my optimism. But I want it to do well. But it's just which team turns up, and the girls are just going. Hopefully, because it's a home crowd, we can get behind them.
Yeah.
Be that extra player and cheer them on.
I really, really hope so, because Tracy put in the comments quite a while ago, I'm scared for Sunday. And yeah, every right to be Tracy, because we, not only it's, what team turns up, but obviously it's also what Spurs team turns up as well. And, are we the team to match them? Are we the team to be better and take those chances? Or are we the ones that actually we're going to fall because they've turned up? So yeah, I think, especially with a team like Spurs, who can still very much do Spursy things, is quite a hard one to call. Emma, how are you feeling about the weekend?
To be fair, I don't know, actually.
Well, I do like it when you're fair, so yes, please do continue.
I'm always fair. I'm a little bit like Lindsay. Like, I really want us to be optimistic, and I really want to say that we can get points from. We really haven't played very well, especially the last 2 games. So there's just no fight. If we come with fight, and if we don't have a slow start, then I think we have a decent chance. But I think what hindered us on Sunday was the slow start. We just let Liverpool start on the front foot, and we just then couldn't come back from it. So I think that didn't help us. But hopefully home crowd, so hopefully we can then get sort of behind them. Let's maybe pick a decent team. So let's not leave the likes of Lynn Vilms and Noelle Moritz on the bench. Because that
would be nice.
Really
yeah.
I'm also talking about lineups and things. I'm not keen on playing Kirsty up the middle. I much prefer her on the wing and just running down. But yeah, so other than that, hopefully it should be a good game. And I feel like when we play Spurs, it's always a decent game. Like, whether we win or lose, there's always a lot of goals. And I like those
bit of drama.
Games.
Yeah,
you're not sat there just going, right, okay, let's watch the clock now, because, Spurs have banged 5 in. There's no way we're going to get back from this. It's always very end to end, which is very, very fun. I like those sorts of games, and to have that at home as well. Yeah, it's exciting. Really exciting.
It is. Yeah, should be an event. And Gary, how are you feeling about the weekend?
Well, like Emma was hinting, it could be a proper ding dong.
I hope so. We do love a ding dong, don't we?
We do love a ding dong. There can be goals. Both teams capable of scoring. It's difficult in the back line at the minute choosing who you're going to play. Definitely I wouldn't have had Emily on the right. But Lynn can play there, and Chaz can play there. Now, Chaz was just coming back from injury. And of course, Manon Moritz can play there too. It's difficult to play both of them. Because I really like having Maltby on the left. And if Lynn's playing on the right, we end up playing Moritz on the left. And I like Maltby. She has good balance. She's She's a defender that knows how to stick her foot in, but she's also up there trying to get you a goal too.
Yeah.
And whereas Gemma, I know we brought her in, I know she has great experience, but to me, she's more of a winger than a defender because she's never in the back line whenever she comes onto the pitch. She's always far too far up. She at the minute is a bit of an imbalance in the team. As talented as she is, she needs to remember that we do have to defend too. So it'll be interesting to see what the lineup could be. I don't see where Kirsty would. Kirsty's one of them I wouldn't mind giving her the number 10 role, and not so much as
Okay.
well for me. It's not so much about being the attacking midfielder. It's just she's the kind of player that could say, right, this is where we're going to say you're playing, but do what you want. Because if they don't really know where Kirsty is, that makes her a proper threat.
So more of like a free roll to kind of
more or
be
less
where she needs and
because she loves to get out wide, but whenever she goes centre, we know that she can hit a shot.
Yeah,
you know, she's not afraid to have a dig, and rather than putting her in that fixed position where people do try to mark her out of the game, if they're doing zonal defending and they don't know where to find her, just let her run wild.
Yeah.
You know, we do have options. We do have talent. It's how brave we were going to be with that talent.
Very much, and it's what we're going to do because again in the chat as well, and thank you for that. I think Kirsty needs a break. She's looked uncomfortable in every match for a few weeks now, but equally she's one of our best players. Yeah, she hurt her back, didn't she? And she hurt her knee.
How painful did that look?
Oh, it looks, yeah. She just gets absolutely battered and she just gets back up again. And you just think, I mean, she's an incredible, and she's one of the players that we said, every single week she gives her everything, and that's unfortunately come at the price. She's been battered to bits, hasn't she? And you want to be able to give her that break, but ultimately she'll want to play for starters. She won't want to not play, but she is one of our best players. So how do we do that? How do we balance it? Do we put someone else on and bring her on for the last bit? Do we start her and then bring her off a bit early, and make sure she has that balance? Lindsay, what do you think? Think she needs a proper break?
I think she needs, because international break, she's going to go off and play potentially for Scotland, isn't she? So,
yeah,
protect her so she can have that opportunity and continue her development playing with like a variety of players, which will help her long term. If we change like the team members or she changes teams, but I think we need to protect her more, whether it's managing her minutes or giving her a break. Just to let her body recover, because we've seen how when we had like Lucy Stan playing that first season, she got absolutely kicked around. Lucy Parker, her first season, she got absolutely kicked around until she got injured, and it's like the players get kicked about, and it's fine. Like it's okay, it's not fine, but like we're used to it. But it's like we need to be protecting her, and it can't all just fall on her. And I think the pressure of, it's okay, we've got Kirsty will score, Kirsty will do this. Like that's a lot of pressure on a player as well. So I think, like from a well-being perspective, not just from the physical, but from the mental, to give her a chance, because we've seen how that type of pressure can destroy players. Even whether it's top players or Sunday League players, it's just too much. So while she can handle it, and we know she can, and she's doing it week in, week out, it doesn't make it right. And I think that's where the welfare thing comes in. So I'd like her to manage her minutes. I'd like her to come on, maybe not get dropped, but have the conversation with her saying we want to manage your minutes to protect your injuries and get those right, so you can perform internationally. You can come back to us after the international break in a better position. So we're not dropping you, we're just giving you more support, and then also feed it, in the communication that we don't get from the club. The club say that they're managing her minutes because of her injury, so that we don't think, oh, the club's dropped her and everybody turns against the
Yeah,
Tiger.
what's happened? Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that would be really good to protect her against any outward backlash or any hate or anything, or any awkward questions that we know the players get hassled on social media. So I think that would be really, really good. But that's what I do. But I know she'll be like, oh, I want to play, because she's that type of person. But I think she's just exhausted. The same with Miri. Miri's emotionally exhausted from giving everything and it not happening. So I think that meeting on Tuesday, if it's come good, it'll be a big turning point for all of them. And if they're all getting kicked about, then it's okay. But it's not okay. But just not all on our Kirsten.
No, yeah, no, no, yeah, no. But oh god, brain tired. Yeah, but no, you're right. It's very much we need to protect her. We need to do it the right way. We don't want to get into a situation where she can't physically play because of whatever injury or the, like you said, the pressure on her. Because we do rely on her a lot, maybe too much, because she is someone who is so reliable and does produce, doesn't she? She does so incredibly well, and we're so lucky to have her, and that she does play for us. So all we can ask is that the people behind the scenes look after her, do right by her, and hopefully she'll be protected for us, for not only us but for Scotland as well, as you mentioned. Would anyone like to be bold enough to make a prediction for the weekend? And again, people in the chat, if you want to make a prediction, please do so. Because Emma, you said ding dong, so
I didn't say.
Oh, I said ding dong.
Oh, did Gary say? Do apologize.
I can see it being 3-2. Adam, hoping in our direction.
And that's the thing. I think it's going to be this scoreline. I'm not sure who it's going to be too. Yes, so hopefully us 3-2. Yes.
Spurs is sort of, they're the sort of mid-level team that we should be competing with. Both of us know that we're not the top four, but we can be competing for.
Spurs are trying.
They are trying, but the talent that we have in our squad as well. That's the level that we're at. We're the teams that should be competing for like 5th or 6th, so it can go either way. And I am hoping that the 3-2 is in our favour.
I really hope so. That'd be quite nice. Because Spurs are 10 points ahead of us in the table, just as a little reminder. Emma, have you thought of one yet?
I wanted to say 4-1 to us. But I'm optimistic.
4-1?
Thinking that we're going to score 4 goals. Because I don't think we're going to score 4 goals. So
I will eat my hat if we win by 4-1. I will find a hat and I will eat it.
Live on next week's podcast.
Yeah.
We shall
Heard
go
it here,
4-1.
guys. Heard it here first. I mean, that we say we're optimistic, but Emma. But hey, I like that you haven't given up. Lindsay,
I want it to be more than just a 1 goal, what's it? So.
Okay, so you want to try and reclaim them from last week? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, Lindsay, are you as optimistic?
I'm going to go with 1-0, and I'm going to say
Right.
the goal comes in the first 10 minutes or the last 10 minutes, and it's
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Either a mistake or a goal of genius.
Again, sounds about right. Yeah.
And I'm going to go to us with the home crowd behind us, cheering us on. But I'm going to say it's end to end. It's either going to be a really boring 0-0 draw type of behaviour, or end to end and nothing goes in, and then someone snatches it.
Oh, I'm gonna go 2-2, but we get a last minute equaliser, so it looks like it's all gone wrong, gone again, and then who can pop up? Do you think? If Lucia's back, that would be an incredible way to come back. Last minute winner. equaliser.
We're ever going to need a defib at the match if that happens, because I'll probably have a bloody heart attack.
But isn't a last-minute 2-2 such a Villa Spurs thing to do?
Yeah.
It is, but I'd still have a
Don't
heart
want
attack.
I'm not sitting next to them.
Oh, you are sitting next to me? You have to catch me when I fall.
I'm not giving you mouth to mouth and all that. No, no chance.
No, that's okay. I just need a defib, but I'll live.
I've got an EpiPen. Will that work?
I'm not planning on eating peanuts, so no, probably not.
I was going to say, tune in to next week's pod to see what actually happened.
to see who turns up.
Yeah. Oh dear. Well, regardless of those wild and wacky scorelines, there's got to be some drama, because there always is against Spurs. It's another 12 o'clock kickoff. Annoyingly, we are one of four, as always. So it's City, Man City, Leicester City's on Friday the 13th. Unlucky for some. That's at 7 o'clock, and then there's Villa Spurs, Chelsea, Liverpool, Everton, West Ham, which is going to be a big one for those bottom spots there. And United, London City, they're all on at 12, and then we've got Brighton, Arsenal as the slightly later 2:30 game on Sunday as well. And then we don't have a league game until the 15th of March because of the lovely international break and some FA Cup action as well. So yeah, looking forward to it. It'd be nice to change up a little bit. And just maybe this is the break that they need to kind of take and reset. We needed it last season in November. In December, we just needed it all to stop. But now I think February is the time to really rest and go again. But yeah, lovely. Right. Anything else anyone would like to mention before we go? Because I think that is pretty much it.
I've got something.
Go on then.
I always have. So, after the game at the Aston Inn, Aston Villa Women Fan Club will be having their sticker swap shop for the Panini stickers. So, if you've got any stickers that you want to donate or you want to swap, please bring them along, and we'll be running that. I think it's from about 2:30 onwards at the Aston Inn. You can buy soft drinks, you have to just have alcohol. So, have a cup of tea, cup of coffee. Do your stickers and get your books filled, and also the match at the weekend. And I stand to be corrected by somebody who may know better than me. I believe it's the LGBTQ plus dedicated fixture.
Okay.
Which I think, if I read my messages right, it's that is the dedicated match. So watch out for Out and Proud, I think it is, the LGBTQ plus fan group, which goes across the women's and the men's game. They will be popping up at some point during the game with their flag to promote inclusion and diversity. I know they're at the game, I think it was last night, doing something, so I think this is a dedicated fixture this weekend. So I'll probably get shouted at by Villa because I got it wrong, but I'm under the impression that it is. So a chance to celebrate diversity and inclusion.
Yes. And what a fantastic way to do it at the football match. Yeah, because I've seen loads of campaigns. I know Liga FA have just launched a new one as well. I think it's called like Love in Colour or something. It's quite nice, that translates to. So yeah, it's really nice to see these fixtures. Obviously, I know they've happened before, but it seems like a lot more organisations now are really embracing it and pushing it, rather than just going, yeah, that's the Pride one, and then just never mentioning it again. It's actually being embraced and put. So yeah, thank you for that. And also completely nothing to do with anything apart from stickers. Serie A have got their first ever proper sticker book with stickers, because last season they just had a digital one. And I think my friend Camilla was saying you had to send off for them or something if you wanted them properly, and they weren't like in shops or anything. But now they've had this huge launch in Italy, and all the clubs got like their big cards of their logos and stuff. So yeah, they're making a proper big thing of it. So
And you've ordered one.
well, shipping is quite expensive, so I've done one better. I'm going on holiday to Milan. Because that's cheaper. And I'm going to buy loads of stickers from there. That's the plan. Yeah.
Just said I have a
Extra-
friend that lives in Milan. I just could have got them to post it over.
I mean, if I need more, that's totally going to happen. Now you mention it. Yes, so that is the plan, because they look really cool. They look really cool indeed. So now I think that may be it. But yes, thank you so much for everyone who got involved in the chat tonight. It was lovely to see some new faces. So thank you very much. We do really appreciate it. We are in partnership with the Whole 115 Yards and the Aston Villa Women Fan Club, and you can find us across all socials. At either Part the Pride for just Villa stuff. You can find us at the Aston Villa Women Fan Club to be part of the fan club if you're not already. We're a nice bunch. We're a lovely bunch. Do come and say hello. And the whole 115 Yards covers as much women's football as I can possibly manage. Also just got completed our winter transfer tracker as well, so if you're wondering what's happened across Europe, that is your first stop to go there, and that is at the whole115yards.com. Also you can find it on our socials and find us that way as well. But yes, thank you all for joining me this evening. It's been a lovely little discussion, and hopefully we say this every week. Yes, Gary?
Athletic Madrid just hit the bar. Sorry.
Oh, they did as well. Yes, just for people wondering, there was a Champions League game on this evening, Atletico versus United. United are 2-0 up, but Fallon has just had to make a very good save as Atletico hit the crossbar. So that's only on 64 minutes, so if you do want to watch your Champions League, go and do that now. Finish the game off, because it is now the round of 16, the first leg of the round of 16. So yes, so do catch us on social media. We're getting so close to those 100 subscribers, by the way, on YouTube. So if you have enjoyed this episode, please do go give that a like and a subscribe, etc, etc. So yeah, we say it every week, but we do hope we will be back next week with some good news as we look ahead to Spurs.